my my Arcadiacs. I'm gonna have a fucking name for people. What's up? I'm back. I'm gonna have a fucking name for people. I got back. What's up? I'm back. I'm gonna have a fucking name for people. I got back. What's up? I'm back. It's been a bit. It's been a bit. The hell? Mute myself. Thank you very much. All right. I got back a while ago, but I had to walk the dog, of course. Let me see. Got out there, got back, walked the dog, then I just got back up to my room. There we go. This is the time frame. I have this issue where I'm sure I'm not the only person, but there's weird lapses in time where you're just like, what did I just do? It's like, man, I was doing something for a long time, but who knows what it was. And so if I go, okay, so you can sort by platform. You know what else? All right, so when I saw they called Haunted House a survival horror game, I was like, all right, I got to check this out. And of course, there's this Digital Eclipse. I don't know. I know Mike Micah, I believe, had something to do with this, which is a name I have faith in when it comes to retro games, making sure everything's done right. Um, but then I saw in the screenshots on the eShop, because for some reason I was expecting this to be like a somehow like a worse version of this game. I don't know how they're Atari games. You know, they could skimp out on the interface or whatever, but no. I saw Food Fight was on there, and I was like, man, I had never heard of Food Fight, and I was just loading up random games in MAME, like completely random, or just going by year and be like, what's this? And I saw Food Fight, and I was like, man, this game is awesome. I don't know what this is. Aka R? I don't know. Asteroids Deluxe, because I've seen an Asteroids cabinet in real life, and those look amazing because the what's it called, graphics, like the vector graphics, like it's so bright. Asteroids Deluxe, I've only ever played it in MAME, and I was always under the impression that they had just put like a little screen to make the background look like that, because it looks like it's an overlay or something, and you're just drawing the same graphics, you know, on that screen. Shorts Deluxe, Black Widow, Breakout, Centipede. I liked playing this, but this was never my game. It's a trackball game, so of course my favorite thing is going to be just to go up to the arcade machine and just spin the wheel as fast as I can and die. Cloak and Dagger, Crystal Castles, another. That cabinet looks weird. Never seen the cabinet in person. I've only played I played it in Maine when I played the 2600 port. Fire truck, I've literally never heard of this, and the fact that there are controls on the back is very interesting to me, because it looks like you can also sit down in there. Gravatar, iRobot. This game, the first time I saw this game was like 2003, 2004 at a friend's house, and I think we turned off the lights and played this, and it was like insane looking to me. Liberator, I've never heard of this. Lunar Lander, love this game. Major Havoc, love that game. This right here, when I had the arcade one-up machine I got originally was it was like a 12-in-1 with all the Atari games and stuff. And I ended up returning it because I wanted to mod the cabinet, and I love the fact that the one with all the Atari games on it has the trackball, and it's got like a joystick, but it only has 2 buttons, and I wanted 6 buttons, you know, the Capcom layout, so I could play more stuff. So I returned the machine, which I wish I didn't, but we needed the money at the time. So Maze Invaders, Millipede. I like the fact that this, when you see this game in the arcade, because of the little screens right there, to me it looks like a bunch of different mini games, but it's just, you know, I think it's a variation. Could never tell the difference between the 2 games. Missile Command Classic. I've heard some people say that Missile Command scared the hell out of them because it was like nuclear war, and it's just the sound of missiles going off, and you know, once you run out of missiles to stop the, you know, I guess whatever you're shooting, what is it, like tanks shooting shells or something like that, or anti-tank, whatever, you're trying to stop the missiles from exploding. Once they hit your base and the screen goes black and there's a huge explosion, it just scared some people because this game came out during the Cold War. So context. Pong, Quantum, never heard of this. Space Duel. This is a game that I always skip past in MAME. I'm very familiar with seeing this. Sprint 8. I've never seen the cabinet, but I've seen the game. Super Breakout, Tempest, Tempest 2000's on here too. Also, again, as I said before, I have to stop the stream. The fact that they have Jaguar games and Lynx games on here is way more than I was expecting. I thought this was just going to be the traditional, like, here's a bunch of 2600 games, maybe with a little bit of context. But I think there's a bunch of, like, developer interviews and other stuff, too. This game hurts my brain. Adventure, classic. Air Sea Battle. I want to know what these are, but I don't want to open them because they're blacked out, it's censored. Oh, I can just sit here and look at this Atari art forever. Like, look at how fucking cool this looks. I got Dodge 'em mixed up in my head with, got it confused with Beat 'em and Eat 'em at one point. Fatal Run. Haunted House. Look at how scary that cover is. It's bats, there's a spider, there's a tree. There's eyes, which I'm assuming is you being terrified. And it's got somebody's name on the front of it too. I never noticed that before. I've seen, usually if you come across Atari games, it's just the loose cards, but I have seen a couple of boxes in some stores, which is always a nice surprise. Get rid of those pesky pests. I literally could sit here and just stare at, like, art for these games forever. Boxing is a game that I think one day I got the hang of it. I might be wrong, but I think it was a game I got the hang of at one point. I was like, oh, this is actually okay. I don't know real sports football for sure. I've seen Atari arcade football, which is a hot mess. It's just X's and O's if I remember right. And it's like, I don't know what's happening. It's been a while since there's been a volleyball game. I think there's a couple in VR, but I think they're like homebrew. Saboteur, look at that. This is like prototype Mega Man art right here. Oh, look at this. It says unreleased prototype too. That's perfect. That's perfect. Secret Quest by Nolan Bushnell. Amazing. Never heard of this. Solaris. Super Breakout. Look at the art, man. The art on the boxes is so good. There's a lot of these games I haven't heard of. I know the Sword Quest games because that's famous for that crazy thing they had where they gave away like actual stuff to people. Warlords is a game that I used to always skip by, and then one day I tried it out and I was like, oh, this game is awesome. I wish I could find 4 people to play it with. I think I might have done that one time. I think I talked a bunch of friends into like playing ROMs with me on my friend's like big screen TV in like 2005. And I had 4 controllers or something, and I believe we played this, and it was a lot of like, oh, this game is stupid, and all of a sudden everybody starts shit talking, and I think it was like anytime we had a LAN party after that for like the next couple of years, because we had all graduated, so the rare times we'd meet up and have a LAN party, we'd bring out games like this and like track and field, and people would just start talking trash. Yar's Revenge, classic. Bounty Bob Strikes Back. Also, I believe this is a classic, but I was, don't get it. The 5200, as a person who did not grow up in this time period, like when the Atari was around, when I found out about the 5200, I expected the games to be way better, and they look better, but it's like the same games a lot of time, just changed. Ninja Golf is one of those games that I come across too, and I've heard people say it's awesome. Older people. They talk about, how cool this game was, but, I need the context. I think I need to know how to play it. I need to give it a little bit more time. Maybe I can do it now. Scrapyard Dog. Okay, I was going to say, why are there 2 versions of Basketball? I think this is one of those games that I've played. Like, I know I've played a version of it, but I'm trying to make sure I'm not thinking of arch rivals too. Malibu Bikini Volleyball. I can't wait to check that out because this is 1993 Atari Lynx Bikinis. Just another Scrapyard Dog. Look at how cool this double feature game is. That is insane looking. That is some good art right there. I feel like they could make they made a VR Asteroids, VR Missile Command. It's probably a VR Missile Command, but Asteroid seems like it would be cool. Like just a game where you're just in space and you're shooting at rocks and the rocks break apart. And it's level based, you got like a certain space that you go through and you figure out like, oh, if I go here, then I teleport over here. But it's all in 3D, Turbo Sub. Got that from Subway the other day. Bounty Bob Strikes Back on the 800, not worth the PC stuff. Cabins in Mars, Food Fight. Yoop. This was another game when I was looking at the preview pictures and I was like, hold up. Or it might have been like a preview video. And I was like, hold on, they've got this game on here? And I was like, wait, they have more stuff than just the 2600? I was like, oh, look at that. Look at that. Club Drive. That's one of those games I used to always see in the rental stores. Like one of the few games they would have for the Jaguar. And I was just like, man, this looks awesome. Cybermorph. I think this is the famous AVG and Where Did You Learn to Fly? Dino Dudes, Evolution Dino Dudes. Don't know. This is back when Caveman Mania was going on and everybody loved cavemen and dinosaurs. Fight for Life, high quality game, 1996. Missile Command 3D, that looks dope. Not what I was talking about, but that still looks dope. Ruiner Pinball sounds like a great time. I don't know what this is. I wasn't a big fan of pinball when I was a kid. We got Tempest 2000. This was a game I think a friend had a version of on like a demo disc when I was a kid. He had a PC and he got like a joystick to play. This is what people used to play first-person shooters with joysticks in the long ago times. And we sat there and just tried to figure out what the hell this game was, because at the time I had never heard of Tempest. So the fact that there was a Tempest 2000 in the 90s, like, oh wow, this is futuristic, and I played it and was like, I don't understand this. Now I get it, but I'm terrible at Tempest. And then Trevor McFur in the Crescent Galaxy is one of those games that I never have seen a second of this game in action, but it's a game that I would always read the name of in like the back of video game magazines back then. That's pretty cool. Okay, so that's the whole thing. Alright. It's pretty cool. Let's check this out. Set this at arcade origin. Yeah, let's do that. All right. Okay, so there's a timeline, and then okay. This is a straight up timeline because this is 1971. This is 72. This is also later in 72. This is later in 72, 73, 75, 76. Ooh, what's this? Breakout 79. How far does this go? So I guess this. Okay. That's a cool way to do this. This is a cool way to do this right here. In the beginning, in a world where pinball was king, two engineers dreamed that coin-operated games played on computers could become the next big thing. The company name was it Syzygy? That's where it all started. Computer Space. But you can see Computer Space. Can I actually? Oh man. I need to go to one of those like big conventions whenever they have one, because I'm sure people have brought these there. First arcade game, Computer Space, was designed by Atari's co-founders Ted Dabney and Nolan Bushnell and manufactured by Nutting Associates. It was based on the 1962 computer game Space War. Finding the first computer space in the year 2000. Former Atari employee Jerry Jessup saw a newspaper ad for a computer space machine. in a Quonset hut on a sunflower seed farm. What? In California. He found the first computer space machine ever manufactured. That's wild. Oh, that's cool.
For some reason, I'm looking through the
You tell me that's George Lucas, and I'd be like, all right, we got you.
stuff section for sale, and I see world's first video game computer space. No price, just call. I'm like, wow, I'm pretty interested in this. So I called the guy. I said, so you got a computer space? Yeah. He goes, yeah. First game ever. Okay, great. What color is it? And he goes, well, what color do you want? I'm like, wow, this is getting very interesting, because who has a whole bunch of computer spaces, and who would know that they came in all these different colors? He goes, I got a yellow, a solid blue, metal flake blue, and metal flake red. And he goes, a whole bunch of other games too. Okay, great. Want to come up and see them. These were in a Quonset hut on a sunflower seed farm off of Highway 80 in Dixon, California, halfway between, the Bay Area and Sacramento. And these things hadn't been moved in, probably since 1975. And so I got in touch with Nolan and showed him the pictures and scratched his head, and then like a light bulb went off in his head. He goes, these were Ted Dabney's. These were Ted Dabney's units. This was his route. When he left, he took a route that we had, and he goes, this yellow one's the first one. He goes, I know it. That yellow one is the very first one. I kept the first one, which is a beautiful yellow computer space, and I kept Pong number 46, and we got the rest of them running and working as good as we could. We got it all for $5,000. I don't regret the purchase one bit. Not for a minute.
That's amazing. That's cool. That's super cool. I was expecting this, again, documents in a bunch of 2600 games. Maybe some concept art. Oh, business card. Dabney and Bushnell named their company Syzygy Engineering after a term for the direct alignment of the sun, moon, and earth during an eclipse. Alan Alcorn, who had worked with Dabney and Bushnell at their previous workplace, was the first engineering hire at Syzygy. This is his business card during his early days. 408.
Well, I'd say 30 years to pretty much the present. The arcades have been relegated to the back rooms and the side streets, and generally been an unsavory type of place. What we want to do is bring the amusement game to age. If we can give it a new zip and a pizzazz, it's going to be financially successful, as well as, I think, a very serious part in the leisure time activity of the American people.
The marriage of traditional pinball machines and computer technology has resulted in the birth of a new breed of amusement games. And Nolan Bushnell is the man handing out the cigars. Bushnell has developed two such games, Computer Space and Pong, and believes that they and others like them will move the pinball industry out of America's bus stations and bowling alleys and into the space age. In 1971, Bushnell invented Computer Space, but sold production rights to Nutting Associates of Mountain View, California, for royalties based on the number of games sold. It proved a good deal for both parties. Sales already exceed 1,500 machines. Computer Space, like Pong, sells for around $1,000 and is played on the screen of a standard television set, which has been programmed to display the desired game.
$8,000 billion now.
In Computer Space, the player controls a rocket ship which is trying to shoot down enemy flying saucers while avoiding their missiles. If the player scores more hits than the enemy saucers, he gets one free play. By the time Bushnell invented Pong in 1972, He was able to form his own company, Syzygy Corporation in Santa Clara, California, to produce
Seeing
the
that word
game.
before.
He has already sold over 1,000 machines and expects to sell 10,000 in the United States by the end of the year. Pong, as the name might indicate, is a game of video ping pong. The two players turn dials which control their electronic paddles and volley with an equally electronic ball. The first player to score 15 points wins. While Bushnell did design and program both his games, the technology he uses dates back to the late 1950s. Thanks to research by the Defense Department in the wake of Sputnik, Bushnell is now able to act out his dream of a nation inhabited by thousands of Pong and computer space games.
The government spent millions of dollars on this technology, and as a result, now it's cheap enough that we can put it into a game and sell it for 25 cents for a few minutes and make $1 out of it. It's
population right there.
It's something that the research and development really was done many years ago, and now it's cheap enough that with PC boards and integrated circuits, we can use that technology to our advantage.
The basic electronic unit of Bushnell's games is the integrated circuit. Each of these small chips is capable of storing large amounts of information. The program for a game is determined by specific combinations of these units to form a PC, or printed circuit board. The printed circuit board then tells the TV screen what to do. A single printed circuit board is all that is required to operate Pong, whereas 15 years ago it would have taken enough tubes and wiring to fill an average house. Bushnell first saw the commercial potential of video games in a game called Space War, which has been played at computer centers around the country for several years.
We used to play Space War a lot at the AI project at Stanford, which is a big computer complex. And one day it just hit, this is a lot of fun. You ought to be able to package it and sell it for a price. And, one thing leads to another, and pretty soon, from doodling on a scratch pad, you're actually working out some basic block diagrams, and from there you think, boy, it's going to work.
Let's see. Yeah, 2022 quotes. Pong is the game that launched in the industry. Atari's founders asked engineer Al Alcorn to create the game as a learning exercise, making its commercial success a very happy and lucrative accident. The Strong National Museum of Play inducted Pong into its World Video Game Hall of Fame in 2015. Every time I hear something about Pong getting inducted into like a Hall of Fame like super late like that, it's always funny to me. I was gonna say there's no. It's just me. Oh my goodness. There we go. Jeez. I'm terrible at this by myself. Oh, you know what? I just realized that they have fake scratches on the screen. I don't even. Okay. Filter TV, filter off, border on, off, full, wide. That's cool. That's a cool way to do that. It gives you the context of the game. I got some early interviews. Everything leads up to that, and it's in the timeline right here, so you can see like when this came out and why it was such a big deal. Puppy Pong. Most coin-operated games were installed in bars and thus inaccessible to children. Atari developed Puppy Pong, a device meant to be installed in the waiting rooms, pediatric offices. The idea did not catch on, and Puppy Pong only had a small production run. I don't have the captions. There's a friendly puppy in his doghouse with the familiar game of Pong inside. Kids can play Puppy Pong alone or with their folks. Now, our waiting time is filled with exciting entertainment. They'll forget anxieties. It's fun and all-absorbing. It adds a touch of relaxation to surroundings that all too often can appear threatening to youngsters. Puppy Pong's more fun than your office goldfish, and you don't have to feed it. Children's wards in hospitals, medical and dental offices, and other medical institutions can benefit from the happy faces that Puppy Pong makes. Think of the pleasant kind of therapy this is to encourage hand-to-eye coordination skills. All the controls are child-proof and hazard-free. The game's exciting ping-pong sound can be made louder or softer by an external control. Completely self-contained, Puppy Pong is built out of all solid-state components for long life reliability. A 12-inch black and white video monitor offers typical TV set carefree operation. Designed for free play, Puppy Pong can be fitted with an optional 25-cent play coin mechanism if you want to control game use. Plus Puppy Pong Volleyball. Atari engineers have built Puppy Pong to allow simple in-office conversion to a simulated volleyball game by simply exchanging the Pong electronic circuit board for volleyball board. Kids love both games. Love the chance to relax, whether they're waiting or recuperating. Dr. Pong. Atari designers have also put the same enjoyable Pong video game into a beautiful simulated wood grain Mar-proof cabinet. Dr. Pong's simple lines and modern styling will fit the decor of any professional office. It's compact and durable and fits easily on a standard office end table. Or if you wish, you can purchase an optional bookcase pedestal unit, specially designed for Dr. Pong in a matching finish, with shelves to hold books and other games. Dr. Pong and its bookcase stand encourage visitors to amuse themselves and pass the time. I've never heard of either one of these. I guess that's appropriate, right? I was gonna say, is this just low res? Thank goodness it's not. Signatures, you got Pong, you got Puppy Pong, and you got Dr. Pong. Dr. Pong is the most, looks like it would be in a doctor's office.
You know what the Atari motto is? Innovative leisure, right? Well, it didn't say innovative arcade games. It didn't say innovative video games. It said innovative leisure. It was broad from day one. I mean, Nolan always had a consumer game in his mind because that's what he hired me to do. And I wound up doing the wrong thing and making a hit coin-op game, right? When I was at Ampex, I learned how to make sync generators, synchronizing, the basic fundamental circuit necessary to get a TV signal, because we had to generate an analog signal. So you do that and you get the ball at one speed and you put paddles up, and it's a very, very boring game. And so I added the speed up and I added the angles off of that, just, you know, to make it playable, interesting. And So it started getting a little interesting. That's cute. And Nolan said, well, it's got to have score. We had a pretty good game, and hey, great. So what are you gonna do for sound? I go, sound? I'm already over budget. What am I gonna do? Nolan said, well, I want the sound of a roar of a crowd of thousands applauding your win. And Ted said, I want boos and hisses. And I'm thinking, how do I do that? Listen, I got video, I got the goddamn game up. Now you wanted me to do this. I'll be right back. So I pissed around for a day and poked around. Sounds had already existed in the vertical sync generator. And gated them out with the 555 timer. I love it. Years later, the sound is so well thought out, so appropriate. It was like, are you kidding me? It was just, you know, just thrown together in spite of what the boss said. And so that was how Pong came to be.
So everybody's heard the Pong story. Probably everybody's heard the Pong story, but I've heard it many times, and from Al Alcorn himself, who designed Pong. So
the story I've heard is that they installed one of the first Pong machines in a tavern and let people play it as a test.
Put it out into an arcade and see if it makes money. I mean, that's the market research.
My understanding was Ted built a cabinet, a tabletop, simple cabinet over the weekend. And a coin mech bolted to the side of the cabinet, tabletop type of big thing was sit on a barrel.
Placing a interactive video machine somewhere and having people play it was still a relatively new concept. Nobody knew if it was going to go.
Oh, what is the name of the bar in Palo Alto?
San Jose?
No, it was Andy Caps.
It was Santa Clara?
Sunnyvale.
So we'll put it in Andy Caps. You know, it's a coin-op game, be it fragile and humble, and so we did.
Well, my memory is that he gets a phone call, the game's busted, which of course is the usual thing you get on a support line. It doesn't work. What is it, and in what way does it not work? Well, it doesn't work.
The bar owner or manager at the time kind of yelled at them and like accused them of their game being shoddy because it had already broken down and it was no longer functioning or working.
And they get a call, you know, later on that night and like, hey, this fucking thing broke, you know. come and pick up this piece of shit game and get it out of here. You know, this fucking thing broke. You know, I'm not gonna waste my time fixing this crap.
But anyway, the machine, we got the word that it stopped working, and I figured it could be anything, and I'd go out there and take a look at it. And so I went to the machine, and the first thing you do is you want to try to play the game, because the machine was on in a tracked mode, so it was working, but you couldn't start a game. So you open up the coin box to basically flip the micro switch to give yourself a free game, because I'm not going to waste a quarter, you know.
And so they went down to see what's wrong with the machine to fix it, and what they found out was that it wasn't broken, it was just that so many people had played it, they'd filled the coin box with quarters, and it was jammed, and it couldn't take any more.
So many people had played it that it couldn't accept any more money.
The game is broken because it's stuffed so full of quarters.
Completely stuffed with quarters.
And it was a small, I remember it was kind of small, if I remember, it was a small space. It just filled up with the quarters and it wouldn't take it.
When I played it, I'm going to waste a quarter to play the game. But anyway,
Down and it was no longer functioning or working.
And they get a call, you know, later on that night and like, hey, this fucking thing broke. You
Oops.
know?
I don't know how to fast forward a little bit.
I
didn't realize Eugene Jarvis worked for Vault earlier. I guess it makes sense though.
Is you want to try to play the game, because the machine was on in a tracked mode, so it was working, but you couldn't start a game.
So that so many people had played it, they'd filled the coin box with quarters, and it was jammed, and it couldn't take any more.
So many people had played it that it couldn't accept any more money.
The game is broken because it's stuffed so full of quarters.
Completely stuffed with quarters.
And it was a small, I remember it was kind of small, if I remember, it was a small space. It just filled up with the quarters and it wouldn't take it.
When I opened up the coin mech, you know, all these quarters just gushed out. So, whoa, that's impressive.
It's the equivalent of like crashing a server. When you launch a new website and it's so popular. So they crashed the server on Pong.
And one of the other reasons it was also so popular is because you could play it with one hand while you're still holding a pint in your other hand. And that also was one of those things that, you know, eventually many, many years later led to the rise of the fun barcades that we have, you know, and we can enjoy now.
As Al will always say with a little, you know, twinkle in his eye, he goes, "This is a problem I can fix."
Basically, the way it worked was you take the money, the deal you have, and you split the take with the owner of the bar. And so I did that, and I had this sack of quarters, and the next day I come into work and I said, I got the machine fixed, and here's the problem. Goddamn thing's making too much money. And really?
But it was one of those great moments where something that supposedly was failing was actually such a huge success that no one could recognize. It was truly the ugly duckling version of technology.
Because remember, Nolan thought, he was like, this is just a placeholder until we get to design the really good game, because who's going to play this stupid shit-ass game?
They went on to produce all of these classic, memorable arcade titles for years that allowed the company to survive and be so much more than a one-hit wonder. So that's my understanding of the history of Pong.
It's a great story if it's true.
When a story is good, you know there's some doubt about it. Like, oh, that's too good to be really true. It's probably a boring version of it that's actually true.
You know, it sounds realistic to me. You know, I mean, I've kind of seen that happen in my own. And when you do get a really great game, the coins will just overflow, and you know, it's kind of a cool feeling.
Anyway, that's how that all happened. Yeah. Anyway.
All right, let's see. Space Race challenge 2 players to get their spaceship to the top of the screen while dodging an asteroid field. Although space games would eventually be some of the top earners with the arcade, Space Race was not a success. Look at the little tiny font there. Like, you'd have to be right up on that machine to see what it's called. It's so funny. You look at like other games. I mean, the most bold one I can remember is, you know, whenever you see the pictures of, like Street Fighter 3 and it's just 3. No Street Fighter anywhere on that banner. It's just the number 3. Where's fourth game? Hold on. I'm missing one. Simple maze game in which one player attempted to catch the other. What made Gacha controversial were the pink domes covering the joysticks, which resemble best. The game's risque fire extended the metaphor. Ultimately, the domes were removed from the machines because of cost concerns. Ah, that's so funny. That's so funny. I feel like this is another thing that I've seen before, and it's like, alright. Trying to... So, what is the idea? Is that you're... I don't know. I'm imagining this is 2 players. One person is going one way, the other person is going the other way. Is that... What am I looking at here? Why is she holographic? Oh, he's trying to catch her. I get it. I get it. That hurts my brain. I was like, why? So she's got a pink pattern on her dress. It's like, no, she's translucent. It's so stupid. Oh, man. Oh, yes. Touch me. An Atari coin-operated machine called Touch Me was not a video game, but an electronic device that challenged the player to repeat an ever-lengthening pattern of button presses. Ralph Baer, the inventor of home gaming consoles, saw a Touch Me machine and was inspired to improve on it to create the iconic handheld game Simon. Touch Me, a mind boggler. You can't beat it. Beep or bleep. I always love when you see arcade flyers like this and it's got something like this. The score and the quarters add up and it's just like, yeah, this will give you money. This will print money. Atari was quite successful in 1973. I felt it was being held back by the fact that coin-operated machine distributors wanted exclusive agreements, so it created a competitor called Key Games. Oh. Seen that name, but I didn't know that's who that was. A separate company headed up by Joe Keenan that would sell similar machines to other distributors. Key's game Elimination was released by Atari as Quadrapong, for example. We got Tank. This military combat game was the only title produced by Key Games that was not a clone of an Atari product. Shortly after its release, Atari formally acquired... It's a very Atari sentence. Shortly after its release, Atari formally acquired Key, bringing an end to the fiction that they were competitive rivals. However, the Key Games division continued operation under its own name until 1978. It's like, there's something about that. I'm pretty sure that's illegal, but whatever. I don't know. I mean, back in the Nintendo days when like you had Ultra games and Konami, I guess it's the same thing. Quadra Tank, the first new entry in the Tank series since 1978. The Tank series. Quadra Tank is a 4-player twist on the classic Tank combat gameplay developed in 2022 by Digital Eclipse. It combines features from all the Tank games, even letting you play on ice. To celebrate Atari's 50th anniversary, Digital Eclipse has returned to the origins of combat with this 4-player reimagining of Tank. Players as individuals or teams have a choice of weapons, arenas, terrain, and game modes, including capture the flag. Play game. If I can play this, I feel like I probably can't, but we'll see. Okay. Okay. Flag capture. Combat. Interesting. You can play normal or ice. I like the Atari logo in the middle. Teams, yes, no. Rockets and lasers, classic shot, classic ricochet. Whatever, let's see how this goes.
Get ready.
Health. Rage. Bounce.
Oh.
Speed.
It's got tank controls, but like tank controls.
Range. Rocket. Speed. Shot. Hell range. Speed. Fast.
What's that?
Speed. Shot. Range. Shot. Shot.
This is pretty damn dope.
Range. Health. Range. Speed. Shot. Health. Bounce. Range.
This is pretty dope.
Range.
Oh no!
Range. Rocket. Rocket. Range. Laser. Range. Speed. Speed. Range. 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 Rocket. Range. Range.
That was the R range?
Rocket.
Nope.
Range.
Oh my goodness.
Health. Speed. Range. Health. Bounce.
Oh wow, you can turn your turret too.
Shot. Laser. Speed. Health. Rocket. Rocket. Range. Bounce.
This is okay. This is okay. 3 AI tanks. Themes? Oh, there's different maps, right. There's 3 maps. Look at the diversity. On an Atari box, this would be like, all right, you've got 56 game modes because this having 3 maps by yourself, like each one would be like its own variation. How does split screen work? It doesn't make any sense, but I'm just curious.
Get ready.
Okay. Alright, that's neat. That's pretty neat.
Speed. Laser range. Speed.
Okay.
Speed. Shot.
It's the D-pad, I guess. Alright, that thing overheats.
Shot.
Who's my...
Range. Laser.
Speed.
Rocket. Shot. Range. Speed. Shot.
So we got red versus blue, what it looks like.
Range. Health. Shot.
Got him.
Health. Speed. Rocket.
This guy up, maybe. Like,
Laser.
no. Alright, there we go. There we go.
Laser.
Wow.
Speed. Speed. Rocket. Shot. Range. Bounce. Range. Speed. 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 Shot. Laser. Health. Shot. Shot.
I tried to sneak up on him.
Speed.
Didn't work out for me.
Shot. Shot. Range. Rocket. Health. Speed. Bounce. Shot. Laser. Speed. Shot. Speed. Laser.
3-4. Good. We win this.
Bounce. Shot.
Oh shit. Amazing. But that didn't count because I blew myself up, I guess. I blew up his rocket, so it wasn't a direct hit.
Rocket.
Partner it. Oh no.
Wins.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Transistors to CPUs. Early arcade games like Tank and Pong were not software programs. Instead, they were built purely out of custom computer hardware mounted on massive motherboards. The 1975 release of the incredibly affordable MOS 6502 processor meant that Atari and others could now program their games in software. It's a big deal. Home Pong. Although the Magnavox Odyssey, designed by Ralph Baer, had already come out in 1972, the home video game craze truly kicked off with the wildly successful Home Pong, first released, as shown here, by the retailer Sears as Telegames Pong for the 1975 Christmas season. Sorry, pinball. Gene Jarvis, who would go on to create video game hits like Defender, joined Atari in 1977 to program the processors that controlled its new pinball games. What he found was a company that, in his view, was making all the wrong decisions about pinball design. The Atarians. Never seen this. You know, the thing about pinball games is, like, I really like pinball, and it's been a thing that I feel like, you know, over the past, like, 10 or so years, I've kind of, maybe 15 years, I don't know, maybe since I would say maybe like 2007 or so, 2008. I kind of got an understanding for how pinball works. I used to think it was just like, oh, you just flip the paddles and keep the ball alive. And it's like, oh no, there's actual goals. Like all this stuff that's on the board means something. So it's been cool playing some of these games, but you know, hard to find an actual table. Most arcades that have arcade games only have, you know, arcade cabinets, not pinball so much. That and redemption games, so. Time 2000. Steve Ritchie, who went on to create famed machines like Black Knight and High Speed, still designs pinballs to this day, programmed by Eugene Jarvis. That is a wide body on that pinball table. I think is extra wide. Like, I really missed when you had pinball effects, but what was the other one? It sucks because it wasn't one I liked. Anyway, they're not around anymore, or they are, but they lost the rights to like the Atari games. Hey, what's up? Yeah, this pinball table looks pretty cool. Be cool if you could do something with these. I wonder if that sound must mean I'm discovering the game. 7 feet tall and 8 feet deep, and over 3 feet wide, Atari's Hercules is the biggest commercial pinball machine ever manufactured. Instead of standard silver pinballs, it used pool cue balls. Ultimately, once players got past the novelty factor, Hercules wasn't much fun. It was the last pinball machine Atari ever produced. I've heard of this. Oh, hey, what's up? You caught me off guard. I was like, wait, I do not recognize this name. What's going on? Always wanted to see one of these machines in the wild. Let me see, because I'm using Restream. I'm going to hop over to Twitch and follow you, because I'm probably not following that name. Oh, my bad. Moving to PA. Oh, man. Big change. Are you doing that this year, or are you waiting until, like, 2023 starts? There you are. I am following you? Oh, wow. I guess oh, man. I'm slow. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely slow. I refer. See, the thing is like, as strange as this is, I have always, I think, known you better than I've known him. I knew him first, but I've talked to you more, I believe. I didn't know him until I went to Chamberlain, which was like 2004. Then I graduated in 2005, so. It's all good. That's all good. Breakouts. Yeah. I want to see how this is playable. Man. Innovative leisure. Which these things would load up faster. Oh, this is just, it's a bunch of old Atari games, so it's, if you like old man games like me, it's great. I love my old man games. Like, I was thinking Sonic Origin or Sonic Frontiers just came out. God of War is out. I've got Modern Warfare 2. There's probably something else that I have that's kind of recent too. Bayonetta 3. Xenoblade Chronicles. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, man, the coolest thing I've played in a while, it feels like this. Just because it's so in-depth. And it's split up in such a cool way. Like, look at this. What I was expecting it to be like this. And this is it. Maybe a couple of documents, but like, there's so much here. There's so much here. It's wild. It's so educational and informative, and that's what counts at the end of the day. The end of the day. they have these documentaries with people, and it's pretty damn cool. Ryan, what's up, dude? This is all right, Namco Museum. When I got my PS1 back in like the mid to late 90s, like that was one of the first things I remember renting, one of the Namco Museum games, and I didn't realize it at the time. You know, if you turn them sideways, if you have them all, it spells out Namco. But like, I feel like I remember one of them. You could like walk around like a polygonal world, kind of. I think it was just like letting you snap to different machines. It was like 5 games. But the problem with Namco's collections is it's every time they release it, it's always the same 5 games. And it's so annoying because like, all right, how many times do you need Pac-Man and like Dig Dug? As much as I love those games, and you'll have like, oh, here's our deep game. It's Tower of Jiraga. It's like, you put that on every collection too. Yeah, so this is pretty cool. The thing that's weird about this though is like, I don't own one, but I feel like this is a candidate for like, how does this work on a Steam Deck? Because some of these games I know control with a paddle, and I have to use a stick for it, and it just feels odd. Right here where it says 1 or 2 players, I'm trying to figure out the 1 player side. I'm gonna hit this. Okay. This is definitely a paddle game, so the fact that it's just like, oh, yes, turn the stick. This was the problem with emulation back in the day, is like, you can never get those precise controls. Unless, of course, you're a savage and you bought one of the X arcade sticks. Still need to get one of those one day. I would hear people talk about Breakout. And they're like, yeah, man, or they would call it Block Breaker. And I was like, wow, that game sounds so cool. Or some people will call it Blockbuster. It's like, yeah, there's a Blockbuster near me. And like, no, it's the game. It's Blockbuster. Oh man, Blockbuster, the game. There's a game where you run a rental store? That must be awesome. And then finding out it's like, it's this? It was very confusing. And then like later on playing, what is it, Arkanoid? And realizing Arkanoid is the same thing, but with like lore and power-ups and stuff. I think Arkanoid is super cool, but yeah, that's also very weird. Every day I look at my arcade 1-up machine. It's actually on downstairs right now, and I keep thinking like, I could get a trackball for this and just mod it in, but I'm like, do I really want to do that? Because the problem ends up being is like, well, right now it's set up perfectly for like fighting games and stuff. And how many trackball games am I really going to play is the thing, right? Wow, I'm the best. I'm reading the instructions on the side of the screen. Press lighted start button. Press serve button to serve ball. Turn knob to move paddle back and forth, and knock down as many bricks as possible. Okay. Yeah, it's rough. It's like, you know, I don't know what you're doing with arcade machines and boards and stuff like that, but it's kind of like when you come across like somebody's like, oh man, I'm selling a Street Fighter 2 cabinet. And like you get there and you can tell it was like a Mortal Kombat cabinet because of the weird like cross-shaped buttons. And you can tell where they like drilled in extra holes to make it 6 buttons, and it's just like, oh man. What did you do? What did you do? Yeah, exactly. It's like Missile Command, Golden Tee, 720, that skateboarding game. Um, there's that Sonic game. What is it? Sega Sonic the Hedgehog. Centipede, Millipede. You know, Crystal Castles. There's stuff that's out there, but it's just, to me, it's just like, it's not enough. It would make more sense. Again, this is a 1-up machine, so it's not like, you know, they're the most expensive or highest quality machines, but it makes more sense to me to be like, all right, I'll get one of those like send-in light guns, because at least I don't have to drill holes in the machine for that. But I haven't done that either, so we will see. Where's my, how do I leave? There we go. Let's quit. All right, so they have this collection has added in its own custom games, like they call it the Reimagined series, and they're just like new takes on the old game. So let's see what this is. Breakout, battle breakout, how to play. Oh wow, they made a fake manual. I feel like this is one of those games that like Limited Run is going to do like a $80 edition of that comes with all sorts of physical stuff that you get to. Enter the ionosphere. As an ace shuttle pilot, you're rocketing through the darkest quadrants of the universe on what you assume is a fool's errand when an update flashes on your Vista screen. Target confirmed, planet designation, Eris. Why is this a word? This is the most appropriate like 70s name. Like, you're gonna write this out. Nobody can pronounce it, and it's written out so nobody ever has to. Until you show up to a story like, can I get that copy of Zexus? They're like, what? The game with all the X's on the back over there. Alright. Hold on. This is just occurring to me. Alright, so this is one of those games. This is a breakout game. This is Neo Breakout. But it's doing the thing that they did with old arcade games where like, yeah, no, you're actually like those blocks that are up there, you're in space. That's a spaceship. That's not a paddle, it's a spaceship. View outside your cockpit confirms that the legends are true. Iris, a planet surrounded by a segmented force field, utterly unique in the galaxy. Many have heard tales of its multicolored shield, but no explorer has ever returned to verify the rumors. You gaze upon the force field with your own eyes, layer after layer of defensive bulwarks, each more complex than the last, stretching down to the planet's surface. Is the ionosphere truly impenetrable, as the legends claim? Or did previous pilots breach its defenses? And if so, were they trapped? Captured? What did they discover beyond it? Your concentration is suddenly interrupted by a squawking, static-filled signal apparently being broadcast from the planet's surface. Fine-tuning your Vista screen to receive the transmission, you see a fuzzy figure. Human, alien, or robot, you can't quite tell on a simple message. Ionosphere breached. Unregistered craft detected. You are not welcome, interloper. Battle protocol engaged. An alarm klaxon blares in your cockpit as you ready your defensive shield and prepare your kinetic cannon. You suddenly realize why Iris has remained a myth for all these years. It is so much lore. Alright, let's go. Holy smokes. Again, my favorite thing about that is like, there's all that lore. I'm breaking blocks. At the end of the day, war never changes. Oh man. Almost there. Almost there. Almost there. The flashing score at the top is very weird. I don't understand why it's flashing. Not that I'm complaining, it's just weird. Aw, snap. Aw, I missed. I missed again. I guess I have to hit it from the... Or, right? Oh, come on. You're breaking my blocks. There we go. Oh, wow, look at this. Holy smokes, what just happened? Doom had large here then. Yeah, it's the thing with like old games like that is it's so cool how you can play the games and you just turn them on. Like I told somebody like, hold on, I'm gonna hit the home button because this is my Switch. Like the thing about playing any old game like Doom, even Doom 64, whatever, is like if I turn on Bayonetta 3, as much as I'm enjoying the game, it literally takes like an hour to really start going. If you turn on Breakout, they have all of this story. We just read a ridiculous story about this being some sort of secret planet with a color barrier, and you are the lone pilot sent to break through the barrier to get to the planet, maybe? Whatever the hell that's all about. But I just read that. It was, it's there. And I do appreciate games that have the cinematic stories, but it's just like, it's nice to have games that are also out there. It's like, press start, figure it out, and there's not much to figure out, and you kind of do. That also means that's when you come into the what is it, like the ColecoVision and Intellivision, where it's like, oh, here's your number pad controller. This is a flight game. It's just like it's, what's it called? It's like Top Gun on the Nintendo. But you have to figure out what the buttons are if you don't have the overlays. And those games are their own separate level of fucked up, but still, you can kind of figure it out. Oh shit. Oh shit. This is like a reimagined version of Breakout. I dig this, I think. Is that bad? It's all good. Whoa. Wow. This reminds me a little bit of those, they did the Space Invaders Deluxe, and it was like, they changed how Space Invaders worked a little bit. It was like, I think you had like boss fights and stuff too, like giant aliens that you'd have to fight occasionally. It started off like the regular game, like after like a couple of levels it got like weird. I like how this literally just like switched this like instantly. Like you finish the first level and you're like, all right, this is fucked up, and then it goes into this, and it's the same game conceptually, but like, yeah, this is pretty dope. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me, Smalls. Space Invaders Deluxe. Alright. I think it came out on 3DS. Or not 3DS. I think it came out on the DS. But I think it was one of those early iPhone games too. Back when the iPhone was having games. Like when Angry Birds and stuff came out. What is the other game? Doodle Jump. When all this stuff started to come out, people were like, oh, this is how you make mobile games. But before then, people were trying to make like actual games on there. And I think it came out during that time period. What is that? Wait, what's happening? Does this mean I have a timer? Oh man, pressure. Kill the blocks. Alright, so we're doing the Ikaruga thing where you can get a combo score. Man, that's hard to control. Oh, I don't like that. It makes it kind of hard to figure out what the hell is happening. I feel like this is one of those, like, Breakout was one of those games my dad would tell me about, but he knew video games a little bit, but not really. So he'd be like, yeah, you gotta find that game. Like, he would tell me, he's the kind of person that would say, like, oh, you gotta find that game Block Breaker. I really like that game. I'm like, what's Block Breaker? And all I know is my dad told me this game exists, and it's the 90s. It's like the early 90s, so it's not like I can look it up on the internet. I wonder if the other version had this too, the regular game, because right now I can push the hold, like, I'm gonna say R2, and it lets me like zoom around a little bit faster. So the trick is to not hold that down, it's just to tap it just a little bit to like give yourself a little bit of speed. Yeah. Alright, it's pretty dope. I'm gonna break so many balls. Check out all these balls. Whoa, what? What's happening? What are we doing? Why are these bad? What I missed that. I don't know what's going on. Oh my gosh, there's so many variables that just happened. Cut it out. Oh, that's messed up. This is messed up. I don't like this. There's a lot of stuff that was just like flashing on the screen all at the same time. Wow, it was like the timer is going down and then the paddle was randomly shrinking too. I just see a laser coming at the corner. Yeah, what it was saying is you use the left stick to move like at the normal speed, just like a slower speed. The right stick is a faster speed, but I guess you can hold down the right trigger to speed up also. This is the right stick, just going back and forth. This is the left stick by itself, and this is with the trigger held down. Aw, man. That's pretty cool. I score. And it's my game. It's my game. I want them to change it to like Atari. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's cool, dude. That's cool. I will breakout. One player versus CPU. Let's try normal. Let's see what this is. Oh shit. Damn. Okay, so I'm knocking... I get it. I just don't understand how the board is moving. Alright, I guess if you miss the ball, then the board moves towards you. Yo, this makes it harder. This is an esport right here. This should be an Evo. This is actually pretty cool and clever. I like how if you can't tell, the ball can't keep up with the trail can't keep up with the ball, so it's a little bit behind it. Shit. Game over, man. Game over. Oh no! Brett screwed Brett. Point. That's super cool. Enough of that, though. There's enough of that. It's just, you know, I wasn't... Both of these things that are on here, just being, again, it's a really cool collection. Oh, man. This is a super cool collection because they just it just seems like there's so much, like, care put into this. Like, they didn't have to do what they just did. They didn't have to make a new version of Breakout. like, it's also cool because of all the little documentary things that are in here too. And like the images, like, look at this details. I can zoom in on this and this is actually legible. Like back in the PS2 days, you'd be able to zoom in on this text, but it would just be blurry. Like it would never focus in. Again, I love the old PS2 collections. But yeah. And again, if I don't feel like dealing with any of that shit, I can just go in here and just be like, alright, what are these? Speaking of which, I need to see what this is. I want it in context, but I need to see this. And it'll take forever to get there. Oh, check this out. There's a progress bar, so you can see how far you got into the different parts of the history. Actually, just to get the context, we can try to find it. Boy, that's a paddle. That's a joystick. Do they have the slogan, the commercial in it? No. Yes. There's the game. People are like, oh man, you gotta check this out. You gotta check out Combat. And like, you know, me getting into the Atari via emulation doesn't do me any good. Like, I can't see it. Oh, wow, you can spin the box. Brian, you can spin the box. Oh man, that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. That's pretty damn cool. Can't spin that around. Unfortunate. Combat's code. Is this all of the code? Like other 2600 games, Combat was a very small program made up of just 2 kilobytes of data. To put that in perspective, just imagine just the image shown here, which contains the entire Combat program machine code. This is it. This is all of the programming for this game. That's wild. That's wild. That's like, what do they say it has? Like 72 variations? Oh, 27? Oh, still, man. It's a lot of attention to detail. It's a lot. I love when it says you have air-sea battle, video computer system game program. There's 27 games on this. There are 27 games on this. Let's flip the back of the box over. You have anti-aircraft, torpedo, Polaris, shooting gallery, bomber, and Polaris versus bomber. Wow. Think of all the fun that we could have. We put our money that we got cutting grass together. We could get this game, and it's got 27 games in one. Oh, wow. Let's see. Games 1 through 6 are anti-aircraft. It's the way that they split the games up, and it's like, those aren't different games. This is the same game. It's like, oh, this one's got a black background. That is one of the things I love about old games like this. 1 to 2 players. It's like, all right, so you have, let me see if I can figure it out. This is, yeah, all right, so there we go. You can see the different modes here. Hold on, we're going to go back to the first one, because I'm flipping through the game modes now. Like, learning the controls after not having an Atari and being like, what is the mode switch? And then you realize, like, oh, and it says it has 27 games. Like, this is 1. This is 2. I think the planes are lower. This is 3. These are what do you think those are? Helicopters? This is 4. Those are seamen and letters. I don't know. Are those helicopters and Atari balloons? Is balloons? Oh, that's everything. Oh man. Oh wow. This is just randomized. Okay. Submarines. You're undersea here. Submarines, mines, there's the hand. I think those are undersea boats. Because that's just a battleship. I don't know. I don't understand what I'm looking at here. What are those? Those are undersea rabbits? Oh, maybe this is the target shooting one. That's... What? All right, this has got to be the target shooting thing. That's like ducks. That's a rabbit, and that's a face. It is like a clown. You got to kill the clowns. Okay. This, I bet you, this variation here is just, this is blind. Like the challenge is that you can figure out where you're shooting at, but you can't see your thing. And it's like, I guess that's a mode. All right, let's go. Look at my limp dick. What a lucky shot. Oh. I did it. Oh no. Got it. This only makes sense if you play against somebody else, because otherwise, like, there's no reason to try. Not try, but like, I feel like if you were to like aim up like this and hit something else, it would screw the other player over. But when you're just doing it by yourself, it's like, nah, I'm just giving myself a challenge. Oh, the thing was almost no scoped. Nice. No, that's when they make the sequel. This is, this is very, like, Air Sea Battle is very much a game of, like, when you have a Nintendo and you're talking to other kids, and one of the kids that you're hanging out with at school is like, I have a bunch of games at home. You should come over to my house. And, like, you finally go to their house, like, I have an Atari. And you're like, whoa, what games do you have? Like, I got 50 games. And they pull them all out, and they do have 50 Atari games, but it's just like this. And I'm like, nah. I think I'm gonna go back home and play Mega Man now. It was nice playing with you, though. You never go to that kid's house again because he's weird. Cover art. Look at this art. Look at this art. Look at how happy she is to be holding that stick. Oh. Oh, hold up. For real? Snake, excuse me. Wow. What? Incredible. Yeah. Incredible. Okay. Another one of those two-player games. This is, again, when you're trying to find out about Atari games and realizing that you can't play 80% of them because they're designed for, they don't have AI because it's early. Yeah. Well, multiplayer Snake is just, that isn't multiplayer Snake just the light cycle thing from Tron, I think. That's what that seems like that would turn into, just slower. That box art is super cool. Also, there's nothing here that would make me think that this is Snake. Like, that was not, that's not what this is. This is a cool game where you're commanding a ship and you're trying to blow something up and you got your co-pilot behind you. Is there art on the back of the box? No. You would have no way of knowing what this is. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up, I saw something. It said video graffiti. Hey, come to my house and we can make pictures on my Atari. Look, I'm making your mom because it's big. Is oh man, it's creative though. What is the other one's got to be just different background color. Like this is, yeah, that's neat. That's fair. Like when it's just so wild how like drastically different the quality would be with some of these games. Like, you know, Breakout is a great game. I think if you had like a sibling and you had combat or air sea battle, you'd have a lot of fun. But if like for whatever reason the first game you got was surround, like you spent your own money on surround, you'd be like, I think I hate video games. Because there's nothing else to play. What is that? I'm sure you'd make it work though, so.
The entire reason that Atari created the Atari 2600 home console.
I've got a friend who told me that she doesn't think she likes games where you probably played the wrong ones or with the wrong people. I'm pretty sure, I feel like there's a game for everybody. It just depends on what it is. Or the number of people that play stuff on their phone. Like, I hate video games. They sit there and play Candy Pop all day. Candy Crush, whatever.
And so the hardware was designed to make it possible to play Tank and Pong. That's about all that they did in the hardware.
So the distinction is this. CoinUp gets to use more expensive hardware. They get to use tons and tons of hardware, and they get to refresh their hardware all the time.
I had played an Outlaw-like game in the arcade. I think it was Midway. And you know, I was just told to make a game, so I said, well, here's an idea, two guys shooting at each other, and so I made that game. My goal is to try to make it like the arcade game, so I can look at the arcade game and say, this is what it has to do. There really wasn't any need for me to have communication with the arcade guys. I'm particularly proud of the Atari 2600 Canyon Bomber because it also has the Atari arcade game Depth Charge in it. So it turns out that in a 2K byte Atari 2600 cartridge, I simulated both Canyon Bomber and Depth Charge, which were probably $3,000 arcade game hardware.
When I was young, when I was little, I remember there was this drugstore, and in their comic book rack, they had these abridged versions of great literature. You'd read it, and it was the whole story of Treasure Island. War and Peace, a comic book. But that whole notion of an abridged version, that is what was going to happen.
When I did Donkey Kong, I had, not surprisingly, absolutely no contact with Nintendo. Coleco was able to
there are people I work with. I've got one of those little you would know, I can say what it's called. It's an RG351V. It's one of those Anbernic handhelds that plays like, basically it plays RetroArch, is what it seems like, and a couple other things too. But there's people at my job that would see me with it, and like, oh man, you play games? I'm like, bitch, you're over here playing fucking whatever the fuck this is on your phone, on your lunch break. It's the same thing. I just have buttons. I have a superior input method. I'm trying to talk myself out of getting a 353, but it looks like it's better. But I feel like, you know, once I'm in that market, it's like I might as well wait until I can get a Steam Deck. But the battery life on the Steam Deck sounds terrible.
This toaster, you know, and I was young enough and stupid enough to not be intimidated. And I wasn't because I was just a kid. I was like, no big deal.
Outlaw. Yeah, see, but the thing is like, think about it. If you didn't have a Steam Deck, doesn't it feel like the end goal with, at least for me, maybe not for you, but the end goal is always like, I want to play, it doesn't matter. It's like modern PC games or whatever. Like, I'm sure it would be cool to play Spider-Man on the go. But at the end of the day, I'm like, I want to play a game that I can pick up and play, which is going to be retro games. So then it's this thing of like, well, I could get one of these other handhelds that can run Dreamcast games almost. Or I could wait to get a Steam Deck, which will run the Dreamcast games, but the battery life isn't as good. And it's just like, it's also significantly more, but it feels like if I made the right choice, maybe getting a Steam Deck is a better long-term investment. I don't know. But I'm also at the point where I was like, maybe I could wait. And maybe they'll do a second generation with like better battery, so I don't have to carry like a portable battery pack or something with me. What's fucked up is I had my pre-order in for one, and I think I had the money, but my dad got sick, so I had to take time off of work, and like that money was gone. And like the day that they charged me, like I had been in and out of the hospital. It's like, oh man, I missed it. And like that was when they had the waiting list. So now I'm back at work, so I can probably get it before the year's over, maybe, or early next year. But yeah. But again, I can't decide if I want to wait or not. Look at that, that's dope. It looks textured. I'm sure it's not. Let's play Outlaw. Hold on, is this for 2 players? Damn it. Oh man. It was the first game created by David Crane, who would go on to co-found Activision and create celebrated VCS games like Pitfall. Oh man, there's so many 2-player games on here. That robot is tripping. The dog has a fucked up face. Also, notice the little boy's ears are like his entire head is in the thing, to protect himself from the the void of space. Like he's fully protected. This dog has its nose and its face in there, but like those eardrums are dead. It's also like its body is just exposed to space, which can't be good. That can't be good. At the very best, that dog is super ultra mega irradiated right now. It is really good at 4D chess, 3D chess, whatever. As a person who's bad at chess, so many emulations. This is not a dog. That is now a corpse. You're 100% right. The thing is frozen like that. That's not wind making that fur stick out like that. It's just ice. That's why it's whiter on the edges. Yeah, the other thing about that though, so you end up in this weird spot with these handhelds where it's like you can get a Steam Deck and you can play all of these games natively. You might have to turn the settings down or whatever, and it might be more of a drain on your battery, but it's an option that you have. But you can that's the big thing. Because the thing about the PS2 that you hit with like the PS2 and Dreamcast is at this point, because of that one, I forgot what it's called. There's the PS2 Android emulator, and it works okay. Like I've played a couple of games on it on my phone, and I don't have the best phone ever. So I'm also at the point where I'm like, well, if I spend $500 on a Steam Deck, is it worth it to just get a better phone? Because I'd have that with me everywhere, and I can just use my like other attachments. Or do I want to go with the Steam Deck because it's the Steam Deck, and it's it's an actual proper handheld. When I loaded this game up in an emulator for the first time, this is all it took. I was like, I'm out. I don't know what the fuck is happening. Even now, I don't know what I'm doing. Bullshit. What an asshole. I have those add-ons too, so it's like there's also that. No, you're good. I mean, every time somebody tells me like, oh, maybe I should get an Android, I'm used to using an iPhone. I'm like, if you don't have an iPhone or an Android by now, you've been using iPhone, I think like you're probably good where you are, because like I just feel like there's so many shady things that you can do with Android phones. It's like, yeah, you can play emulators. Like, you could also potentially just get some weird virus that just wipes your phone. That would never happen on anything else. It's exciting. I want to play these. I don't know what that is, but I want to play that. Don't watch TV tonight. Play it. We're the games you play on your TV set. We're the Atari video computer system. Remember Pong? Well, that was just the beginning. Atari is now a sophisticated computerized programmable unit that hooks up to your television in a matter of seconds. Atari features a greater selection of different game program cartridges. Over 1,300 game variants. There's a lot of shit to read. Oh, man. This is how you can tell this was not published by Atari, because that sentence right there. Around this time, Atari developers Larry Kaplan, Alan Miller, David Crane, and Bob Whitehead came to the realization that the games they had developed for VCS had brought in tens of millions of dollars in profit, but they were paid very low salaries and did not receive credit for their work. They quit Atari and formed Activision, gaming's first third-party console developer. I don't think any company would ever be like, yeah, we underpaid these people back in the day, so they made their own company and they did way better. Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen, like, my friend's got she'll ask me to like open apps in her iPhone. I'm like, what is this strange device? Oh, this shit just scrolls? Everything just works on this phone? Adventure. I told one of the guys I work with, because he was talking about playing like how good God of War Ragnarok was, and I was like, back in my day, we didn't have a God of War, we just had adventure, and it just had one block, and we liked it. One button. Didn't need no fancy dual blades, you had your arrow. Bitch. Got him. This is a wall, right? Yeah. This is one of those games. I mean, this is like the classic. Like, do you know why they call it Pac-Man? Because they're gonna call it Puck-Man, but it's like Atari. Whenever you hear people talk about this, it's like the context ends up being like, have you heard of Adventure? Because it's the first game with an Easter egg. Pretty sure that's. I'm sure that does work. I've never done that before. Hack. Damn it. Just such a big leap, and like you have to imagine so much stuff in this game. It's like, yeah, no, what are you holding? I'm holding a bridge. Obviously, dumbass. Like, wait, what? You're holding a bridge? This man is way stronger than Kratos ever was. I think this right here was the hardest thing for me to understand about this game. Back in the days, like, I'm doing what now? Pretty sure I can bring this with me. Just bring a bridge with you. Just, yeah. How you solve everything. We're going to build a bridge. It's going to be tremendous. It's going to be the best bridge. It's going to help us get out of the castle. We're going to have to fight the evil ducks. Alright, I'm not going to keep playing Adventure. Adventure is a cool game, though. Oh, man. In this video feature, game designers Cliff Bleszinski, Gears of War, Todd Fry, Sword Quest, and Tim Schafer, Psychonauts. I guess? I don't know what you would credit Tim Schafer as being, like, you know, the developer of. I would almost say Cliff Bleszinski. I guess Gears of War is definitely bigger. I wish it was Unreal. I think he just did like level design for the early Unreal games. There it is. There's the Easter egg. What? One free turkey? Missile Command for the VCS was Atari's biggest selling game to that point, with over 2.5 million copies sold. Rob Fulop expected a substantial bonus check that year, but was instead given this coupon for a free turkey. This led him to quit Atari and co-found the publisher Imagic. That is just to hate on my company publicly. From what I heard, like, all right, so last year, I think during the holidays, they gave everybody, like, it was like another $1 or $2 for the weekends. It was like for peak hours during the weekend. So if you make like $15 an hour, you'd make like $17 an hour. This is before taxes. So it's probably, let's just say it's like 16 something, like 16.20 if you're lucky. Which is, you know, it adds up, but it might only apply for maybe like, let's say 10 to 15 hours over the course of the weekend. So let's say it applies from, I don't know, 10 to 4, 10 to 6, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. That's the only hours that you work that. So if you come in early and you have to be out of there by 12, it's like you get 2 hours at $2 an hour. Like $2 more an hour or whatever, which is cool. This year, supposedly there's some sort of like a weird raffle thing where it's like, oh yeah, if you do this, then you have a chance of getting a small bonus. It's like, just do better. Give us a free turkey. In grateful recognition of your continuing service and support, we hereby present Rob Fulop with the Certificate of Appreciation. Good for one free turkey on this day, the 17th day of December. For one day. You have one day. Keep in mind, we're reading this. We're reading this right now. December 17th is shockingly close to Christmas, and that is definitely past Thanksgiving. So it's like, hopefully you can get to the store in this time period in like, what is this, 81? Yeah. And find a turkey in the store that's still good and is not the smallest one there. Like, man, that's rough. Yeah, look at this sick DJ. Look at that art. Look at the babe in the background. It's just the fact that it's like, is that a full week? That is a full week before, yeah. That is 8 days before Christmas. If I did my math right, I probably didn't. I love this version of this game because it's weird. Not bad. It's just like when you see the original one and it's like, you know, you're flying around, like, do the things a lot faster. Going back and playing this one is always strange to me because it's just like you have less control, but it all still kind of works. I can see kids during the Cold War being terrified of this game. Like, oh, what are those down there? Oh, that's your home. Oh, man. Shit. Right now I'm using the D-pad, so I'm definitely cheating. Can I get them both? Can I get them both? Can I get them both? I think so. Yeah. Oh, wait, what? Can I? I don't think I can. No, I guess not. I want one of my cities to get blown up. Oh man, that's a little tiny mushroom cloud. That's adorable and depressing at the same time. Oh. That is somebody's like, man, I fixed the game. I've made it so you know what you've always wanted to do? Blow up your own cities. It's that's because as oh wait, what was that? Hold on, what did that say? Start at level 1, dumb cruise missile, slow target. Game variation. Oh, holy shit. Children's version. Excuse me. Oh, this is like a game for ants. Look at how slow it is. It's for stupid babies. You know, it is cool that you can actually go in there and see what the variations are, though, instead of just tapping the button and just hoping to see like what's different here. I didn't notice that before. One-player children's version. You played Warlords today? The description of what's happening here. That's a castle, and that's a shield, and that's your warlord inside. Warlord's one of those games that I think is really cool. One player fast catch, slow catch. I like how there's children's versions of these games on here. Alright, let's go with one player slow fast catch. There we go. Fuck. I can't do that. Bitch. I don't have a stick. Oh my god, I can't do that. Stop. 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 Don't attack my warlord. Alright. There's something really funny about watching the AI just like catch this. This is inhumanly fast. Clearly this thing is like, yeah, I shouldn't be doing this right now. Oh no, my warlord's gonna die. Oh no, I'm out. But yeah, the first time I was playing this game, like looking in the corner, I was like, what is even happening? This is like 4-player breakout or something. And then realizing later is like, oh no, that's a castle, I guess. Or I always assumed it was just like a barricade, and then you got like your little target inside that you're trying to protect, but I guess that's supposed to be like your king behind the castle, and this is your defenses that are attacking. You know, as was common during medieval warfare, where they shot ping pong balls at each other. He's gonna fuck him up. Got him. Called it. It just happened so fast. I think I'm pressing the button. Hold on. I think that's the right button. Power Stone. Maybe it's not. It must be B. I guess it's B. Oh, that's funny. That feels like you're bullying somebody. I can imagine just the anticipation, like playing this with like 4 people, and just somebody's just talking trash the entire time about, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. Just holding the ball and just making everybody wait. Oh no, I shouldn't have thrown it straight ahead. Oh man. No! I want to be the first one out again. Yes, kill yourself, guy. Oh, it's so close. I've got the most defenses. No! Oh, it's so stupid. So dumb. So dumb. You would assume I was looking at the others like, man, any of them should work. If they hit that one corner, though, I'm screwed, which is exactly what happened. Oh, man. Oh, it's these two again. This game is rigged. This game is still great. Again, the first time I played that game, when I figured out what was happening, I was like, oh, this is awesome. It seems like a perfect party game. Especially because it's only designed, for 4 players. Like, even if it's just 2 people playing, there's still 2 AI, because it's in the 4 corners of the screen. And more games that should be in VR. Game where you're just in a corner and it's like you just have to run around and hit stuff. There is a what's that game called? There's some VR like paddle game thing. What's that game called? I own it. I think I bought it twice for some reason. Probably because I forgot I owned it. I was like, let me buy this again on another platform. The bad version of Asteroids. I think this is one of like the best sellers, but I don't like this version of this game because from what I remember, they the asteroids, you can see them in the background, they kind of just move in like a lame pattern to me. Try this. Yeah. Like. one of the things I like about asteroids is how like varied the movements are with the asteroids, and when it's just like, now this is just gonna go this way. Like it's just gonna pretty much go up and down like at the start of each level, and then you like when you shoot them, they split off in different directions. I mean, I guess if I had this back when it was like new, it would be okay. But like this right here, this is how every level starts off, and it's, you know, not what I'm looking for in this experience. Oh, teleport! I'm Nightcrawler. Oh, again. Oh, again. Oh man. Okay. Yeah, the arcade version of Asteroids is amazing, and like the home version is not as amazing. It's okay. Just a sec. Here's a place where your job is to come in, make stuff up. You just gotta have something clever in it and new at the end of the day. It didn't exist at the beginning of the day, and that's a good day of work. Alright. Fucking Yara's Revenge is so good. There it is. There it is. There it is. That's the description. This was the thing right here that pushed me over the edge of like, I'm going to get this game. Describing Haunted House as considered by some to be the first survival horror game. Haunted House by James Andreasen, I guess, puts the player, represented by a pair of wide open eyeballs, into a dark mansion and tasks them with finding and using items to escape. Picture. Beautiful. Alright, let's play Haunted House, because that means that yeah. Hold on. That is some fucking dope art right there. That's actually scary looking. This is also really creepy. This not so much. That's good. I mean, this is like scary stories to tell in the dark type art. The creepy box for Haunted House was designed by Steve Hendricks. Flip through the images in this gallery to see the original concept sketches and final art for an unused version of the cover, as well as the final design. A die-cut Haunted House wall decoration. I would love this. I would love this. This is 79 cents. It's even got a barcode in the corner. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to type the barcode in. I want to see if anything shows up. 07192200026. I got nothing. Got nothing. That's some cryptocurrency. Okay, whatever. I had some search engine a long time ago that would like pull up barcodes, which was great. Because I could type in like weird packages for stuff. It's like, oh, this is just somebody's old condoms. Great. Alright, flip this over. Ooh, you are stumbling around in the dark and dusty haunted mansion. To escape, find the pieces of the magic urn. You will encounter giant hairy tarantulas, vampire bats, and a menacing ghost. Can you find the? It looks like it says. Can you find the urn and escape the mansion before you get scared to death? I just had this weird image in my head. There's that what's it called? Oh man, MUVR, right? the thing that we use. That's the cool thing that I've been paying forever for. And yeah, there it is. I was always hoping they would add in boxes. I love the fact that you have the cartridges and you can put your own custom art and stuff like that. But people really want, like, at this point, because they've added in so much stuff, like even online multiplayer, people want like the ability to make notes, like, you know, use like paper and just like write notes with like a pen or something like that and keep that for passwords and just notes for games. And boxes. Like if you had, instead of just having like loose cartridges everywhere, which does look cool, but if you could put them in boxes and like, oh, I can open this box in VR, especially if at some point, I don't know, it's just one person. It's just one person. But like if you could open the box or flip through a magazine or something like that, like, you know, with like hand stuff, that'd be pretty cool. Haunted House. Minimal graphics created maximum tension in this forerunner to the survival horror genre. Players, represented by a disembodied pair of eyes, spend most of their time in darkness searching for pieces of a crematory urn while trying to avoid ghosts, bats, and tarantulas. Select game variation. Lit walls, no doors. Unlocked doors. Keys, always in the same place. Random key. Creatures chase. The ultimate haunted house. Lightning on, lightning off. Oh, it's nice to know what these are. I never knew what the variations were for this game. This sounds easier than this. No. How do... Wait, hold on. What? Unlocked doors versus no doors. What's the difference? Let's go with random key. Let's see. Sounds like a door. Oh no, it died. The hell is that thing? So startled. Upstairs. The fuck is that? I've never been good at this game. You know what? That text up in the corner right there totally pulled me out of the game. I was actually getting immersed in this for a second. I was like, wait, hold on. That's not in the game. This is scary. I don't want to play this scary haunted house game anymore. Where'd the fucking spider go? What the fuck? Is it just letting me know that it exists in the house? Could you imagine, like, you know, there's been times I'm not the kind of person that gets like easily spooked by horror games. But I know there are people, like I've got a friend who, you know, Resident Evil, scary. I feel like I can imagine somebody playing this game like in the 80s and ordering a pizza and getting, like, you know, having a bunch of people over it, and like all of a sudden like the doorbell rings and it actually scares them, and that's the most adorable thing in the world to me. The fuck is that? Is that the urn? Did I win? Didn't work out for me. Didn't work out for me at all. Okay, so I'm on the 3rd floor. This is the 4th floor, so... It's... what time is it? Check the forecast. Trying to see what the weather is because I'm convinced it's supposed to be cold. Ooh, who were these? Oh, this is college sports ball. See full forecast. Okay. I don't like my forecast looking like this. This is very inefficient. Weekly forecast. Okay. Oh no. Spooky spider getting. Alright, let me back out. I am now the Spider-Man. Now I can check out the game I wanted to check out in proper context right here. So today... Haunted House, the reimagined version. Haunted Houses. Can't get enough Haunted House? Digital Clips presents a new 2022 spin on the original, created with voxels to bring the classic games look into new 3D spaces. Alright, let's go. Prepare to get spooked. The 2600 game that established the survival horror genre has been reanimated in 3D in honor of Atari's 50th anniversary. 2 players can explore multiple environments together, armed with new gadgets to assist in finding the shattered pieces of a funeral urn. Oh, duh. I always assumed you were supposed to find the urn. Yo, my dude. There are unlockables in this game. Yo! Oh man, why didn't this come out a month ago? Holy smokes. Oh, I didn't notice that. Oh, wow. Oh, this one is so old it doesn't have an address. Let's go. Let's go to Graves Academy. EP Cabin. Terror Tower. Man. Man. I'm gonna do this. I'm an old man. I'm trying to figure out how to use my damn phone. Oh, you know what it is? I have my phone hooked into the charger and it's just throwing me in completely off. Alright, let's go. Old man hands. Record video. Check this out. This is awesome. Haunted houses. Wait, were there? Oh, there's a. Wow, there's 4. I thought it was 3. Creepy Cabin, Terror Tower, Madness Mansion, Graves Academy. Ernie. This is so cool. Oh man, wow. They didn't have to do this. What was that? Was that a something on what? Oh, something else. Okay. Oh no. Faculty. Yo, this is fucking dope. All that cost me money. Yo, right? This is super cool. Doesn't seem a little dark, even for a haunted school. I mean, press Y and light that torch, which I did. The left bar in the upper, or the bar in the upper left will tell you when your torch is set to expire. When enough's a snuff. Ah, that's so cool. I'm so old. Ah, I need kids. I appreciate dad jokes. Got my dad bod going too. Oh, I need kids now. I have an excuse for this shit. There are helpful items scattered throughout this building, but remember, you can only see them if your torch is lit. Keep your torch lit and grab the Scepter Scroll of Protection on the right. This scroll makes creatures and ghosts ignore you. You can only carry one item at once. I like the animations they have for the eyes. Pressing B will drop the item you're carrying. You're on fire. Not literally, but your progress so far is inspiring. Head upstairs. Hold Z. I've been holding that in case you were wondering this entire time. As I realized it's significantly faster. Uh-oh. I might be in a jar, but this door is not a jar. Wow, in fact, this door is locked. Use one of those giant peepers. Look around for a skeleton key. Face. Use my scrolls of protection. It's the key. Grab it and go unlock that door. Remember, you can only hold one item at a time. Got it. Gonna be a spooky ghost. This. It's me, or a piece of me. Being an urn isn't all it's cracked up to be. Please grab my shard and ditch the key. One more lesson lies dead ahead. Let this elevator lift your spirits to the next floor. Pesky ghost. Still a sole survivor, I see. First rule of ghost. Don't run. Creep carefully or ghosty there will steal one of your lives. ghost. I want to go behind this thing. Keep the torch lit. Just need the middle piece now. Where did that come from? Almost forgot. Press ZL to toggle between behind the eyeballs and overhead. Wow! There's different views. The fuck do I know where the ghost is? Oh, there's the ghost. So how did it get me last time? It like went through the wall. Shit. It's coming this way. Did it. You did it. Green beamer. My rank is F. Oh. How the hell does that work? Okay, so... Wait. Go back to menu. I want to see what the difference is. I'm convinced it's just two different skins. Like, there's probably no difference. Right? Oh, this is like a... Wow. After the real thing, 3 earned pieces are scattered around the creepy cabin. Assemble them all, then find the exit. Hint, the exit is right behind you. Sure. There's the exit. Oh, hold on. I can just open this door now. Give me spider. Leave me alone. Oh, man. Wow. What a combo. Fuck. Instantaneous. The thing is I don't understand. Oh, wow. Where the fuck is the ghost? Leave me alone. Oh no, leave me alone. Bitches. Oh. I feel like I'm at a disadvantage playing in that view. Like, this is obviously the better view to go with. What is up with the damn spiders? Wow. saw that up there, I was thinking like that can't be an actual bat, right? But it is. Of course it is. This is completely unlike anything you've ever experienced before. Yeah, you're probably right. I can definitely see... I can see Zelda. I can see Zelda for sure. It's like the original, like The Legend of Zelda. How do you not have that happen? There's a piece of the urn. Hold on. Wow. I'm committed to either getting the pieces of the urn or using the key. I can tell you it's happening right now, so I'm losing my damn money. Damn it. Be very careful. I'm gonna run until I hear the ghost laugh, and then I assume if I hear the ghost laugh, oh shit, it just appears behind you. That's why that keeps happening. It just shows up. It's not normally there. Fuck me. Hey, Ben. The scariest game of all time, haunted houses. Fucking spider. Fucking spiders. Where is it? That's a bummer right there. Oh, it's on the other side of this door. It's all good, dude. Appreciate it, though. I'll never finish this game. Never. It's tough. See, the problem is the damn pieces of the urn. Not being in the vicinity of each other. Stairs. I'm good. I'm good. Trying not to get scared to death. Ooh, look at this art. Oh, snap, there's another piece. What the fuck? Oh, that's the setup right there. What was I supposed to do? Wow, what a dick move. Honestly, I probably could have like ran through it or something, but I didn't trust myself. This is a bummer. Out of time anyway. I think what I'd have to do, I think my strategy would have to be like going through. Where's it spawning at? Back this way. Shit, it's near me. I think. God. Look at this scary cat in the window. Just a sec. Sorry. Yeah, I was scared to death. Oh no. It's being weird. Alright, that's cool. That was pretty cool. Ghost Hunter and Ghost Rush. What the fuck? Wait, hold on. What is this? Just a sec. It's determined. I forgot the rule. I only see items if I have the thing. Oh. Well, that's a bunch of malarkey. If you use the top-down view, it's like you get an extra advantage. guess, alright, so I guess the other mode just gives you more time. That makes sense. Okay, well now I know. Alright, let's go back. That's pretty damn cool. That's a pretty damn cool way of doing that. I never understood how the game worked. I wonder if, feel like instruction manual. Okay, you can actually flip through the manual. Okay, okay, okay. Oh, wow. Try to find the scepter first. Hold it while you search for the urn pieces. It might help to write down the location of each of the urn pieces and then go back to their locations. What? I want to read the story for this game. Alright, let's see. Many years ago, in the small town of Spirit Bay, there lived a mean old man named Zachary Graves. Old man Graves was not a very well-liked person. He rarely left the old mansion and spent most of his life brooding around about the decaying four-story house. When he died, the house was condemned and locked up. The townspeople claimed that old man Graves knew the whereabouts of a magic urn that was a family heirloom of the first family of Spirit Bay. It seems that the mansion was the family's first home, and that the magic urn, which broke into several pieces during the earthquake of 1890, is still in the old house. To this day, no one has had the courage to go into the mansion to search for the pieces of the urn. It is common knowledge that the ghost of Old Man Graves still haunts the mansion. Some of the neighbors claim to have seen lights flickering in the windows. Some say that they have heard eerie sounds, doors slamming, and heavy footsteps. Some even claim to have seen shadows running through the mansion. The mysterious mansion has 24 rooms connected by long corridors and staircases. Some of the rooms have been locked up for over 50 years. There is supposed to be a master key hidden somewhere in the mansion. Without the key, it might be impossible to travel from room to room. There is also an ancient scepter hidden in the mansion. Old Man Graves always carried the scepter. He believed it scared off evil spirits. Now that you know the story, Atari is unlocking the entrance to the haunted house, letting you test your bravery. Do you dare enter the frightening old mansion? If you do, remember to carry matches. The haunted house is very dark. When you are ready to challenge your courage, insert this game program cartridge and turn on your Atari video computer system game to enter the main room on the first floor of the haunted house. Okay. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, we're good. We're good there. It's such a, oh man, the fact that it's just like, you can see the little timeline up there too. So this is 1982, and it's just like, I feel like that context makes all the difference in the world. The true masterpieces of the VCS era, Yar's Revenge was the first game developed by Howard Scott Warshaw. Originally asked to create a home version of an arcade game called Star Castle, Warshaw decided instead to create an original VCS game and enhanced it with an elaborate storyline that was turned into a comic book. HSW, the opportunity to produce entertainment to potentially millions of people, well, that was something I'd always dreamed of. Yeah, I never knew how I'd get there, but now that I had this opportunity, I didn't want to waste it. Sick. How in shape this dude is. Yars truly. Warshaw was the first Atari designer to be officially credited for his own game. Today, when he autographs a fan's copy of Yar's Revenge, he signs it, Yars truly, Howard Scott Warshaw. Some dope art right there. More dope art. Yo, that is like a giant... It's like the big Galactus. I didn't realize that was like a giant thing back there pointing a finger. Yar's Revenge, the comic book. Just all you have to do is put Journey on the cover and absolutely. Abel's Clark Anderson standing in John Hughes. Excuse me? Oh shit, that's right, there's another version of this game. Alright. To sell Yar's Revenge, Atari produced a 2-minute commercial with state-of-the-art computer graphics that ran in movie theaters in 1982. Produced by the pioneering computer graphics advertising firm Robert Abel and Associates, the ad starred actor Rod Davidson as a game designer dreaming up new ideas.
A fly. I'll have a mutant fly. Hello, Yar. You'll need some protection. Ion zone.
This is how people
shift chroma. Intensify. Okay, now you'll need some weapons. You have a formidable enemy. The Kotile. Watch it, Yar. He has a lethal drone. And some other tricks up his sleeve. Spiral. Go. Good move, Yar. Now I have a surprise for you. A Zorlon cannon. Use it, Yar. Fire again. Got him. That's revenge. Yar's Revenge. A video game. Yeah, this can be fun. This can be a lot of fun. Like asteroids. Get him. Do it.
Miko,
beautiful.
The game that I saw, it said it was for the Yar. I want a Yaris. Mom, can you get me the game?
Hyperspace. Sights.
To be fair, it is using in-game assets, but this game does not look like this.
Steady. Stand by.
You're talking about not having imagination? Like, you gotta have all the imagination here. But this was the first game that I played, and I was like, alright, these are cool.
Let's see what we can come up with next.
We're Atari. We have the vision, and we invented the technology to bring the excitement home to you.
Let me see. Let's see what were the top movies in 1982. This is the great thing about having... I've got 2 monitors. I'm using a 3rd monitor for my Switch right now, so... Okay, so that could have been potentially... Let's look at these movies that were out in 1982. Top grossing movies in 1982, the numbers.com. Number 1, E.T. I could see that playing before E.T. Maybe. Rocky 3. On Golden Pond. An Officer and a Gentleman. Porky. Star Wars. Oh, wow. Star Wars. I guess it got a re-release. No, it's still in theaters. Well, I gotta sort this by release dates. Star Trek 2. Wrath of Khan. Poltergeist. The Best Whorehouse in Texas. Chariots of Fire. This is 1981. Annie. Firefox, First Blood. Tootsie. If it was on front of anything, I see The Sword and the Sorcerer, and I also see E.T. Oh, there's the toy. I'm looking at all the movies. There's Tron. I feel like Disney wouldn't. Maybe. I don't know. I feel like you'd have to talk to whoever. Like, you couldn't just have this in front of a Disney movie. You'd have to be like, "Hey, are you guys okay with this?" And it's not like they were. It's not like, I don't know what their financial status was. I feel like that's before like they had their like Renaissance So maybe there's the Dark Crystal. Airplane 2. Fucking put it in front of Creepshow. I could see this. I could see this playing in front of Creepshow. It kind of inappropriate, but whatever. Anyway. Oh. The children's version. Why is the children's version the first version? That's the only version I've played. I feel like, what is it? Is it people credit it's either like Beauty and the Beast or The Little Mermaid, or it's one of those movies where it was like, all right, now they are back. It's got to be The Little Mermaid, because Beauty and the Beast had that cool panning 360 ballroom shot from what I remember, which is a lot of animation. All right, let's go with Yar's Revenge. All right, so when I was playing this game, I was like, what are you doing here? This shit works. I'm trying to get through the force field. This thing is trying to defend itself. Lion King has to be early 90s, because that had Jonathan Taylor Thomas did Simba's voice, right? Alright, I think if I remember right, okay. This is coming back to me. It's been a while since I played this game. I think you go over here and you touch it, and now I have this laser, and I need to shoot that laser and hit it. Yeah. There you go. Game is so fucking cool. This was the game that introduced me to Atari explosions too. Like when you hear people talk about those, you're like, what's an Atari explosion? What makes those different? And then you see that and you're like, oh, that's pretty cool looking. Fucked up. Ooh, it's got it. Wow, I'm on a roll. Got him. Oh, this game is so cool. It's time to move on though. Got me. I want to see what the enhanced version looks like. Or their reimagined version. Digital Eclipse brings Yar's Revenge into the modern era with a total graphic and audio makeover, but the gameplay is identical. In fact, the new look is running on top of the original Atari VCS games code. You can switch back and forth between versions. I'll take Monkey Island. Oh shit. Modern visuals and a driving soundtrack enhance this Digital Eclipse tribute to Howard Scott Warshaw's classic Atari VCS shooter. The original gameplay remains largely untouched, but the presentation befits a 50th anniversary celebration. Oh my god. Holy shit. This is wild. So you can't, when you're in little like zone here, you can't shoot either. I think I remember that was pretty cool about this. Ah. Oh no! For some reason, I thought everything started from a different point in the level. I didn't realize it started from right there. I'll get to choose the mode. Let's go with 2. That's where it just was a second ago. That's so cool, dude. Look at that. That thing right there. That's what this is. When you have to use your imagination, that thing turns into like a weird, like, I don't know what to call that thing. Like a dragonfly or something? Space dragonfly? The thing that makes this game work is that it's a simple concept, but there's a little bit of depth to it, but it's just fun to play. So seeing like the fact that this is just, they said the original game's code just running on like, you know, new graphics, you just switch back and forth. That's so cool. I've always liked it when games do that. I think the first game I remember doing that was that Monkey Island remake, and then Halo did it with the Halo Anniversary. Should have done with the damn, what's it called? The, Last of Us remake, and it's like, oh, this game looks identical. What is this? Yeah, I think so. All the damn remakes, they'll be like, oh yeah, we're gonna do a reboot of Control. It's like, didn't Control come out in 2019? Yeah, it's overdue for a reboot. It's the same console generation. What are we doing? On a roll, man. It's like, you know, I was thinking about the thing that I think sucks the most about remakes. It's like, I don't care. Like, I know some people want, you know, they want to see original games, which is fair. Good point. But what bothers me about remakes is I wish there were more things like this. Like, it's a bummer that this collection exists. But I feel like there are games, like, you know, you got the Criterion collection for movies. I wish that was there for games too, where it's like, hey, these are games that are important that should be able to be played on stuff. And I would hate the fact that it's all wrapped up in licensing and porting and all this other shit. It's like, you can get an emulator. Here's a great example. There are a billion Metroidvania games. You're like, man, Hollow Knight is amazing. Metroid Dread is amazing. But like, the fact that you can't play Symphony of the Night on a modern console is really weird to me. I don't think it's been ported to PS5 or Xbox Series, or I don't even think it's on Steam. The only way to do it is emulation, and it shouldn't be like that. But instead, they'll be like, hey, we're gonna... Oh, look at this. Of course I had to do this. Instead, you'll get like a... Oh, hey, we're gonna do a remaster of, I don't know, Forza Horizon 2. Which, you know, it's fair, it's a good game, but it's like, bring back your old stuff. I don't even necessarily really like, I like the fact that this has got all this stuff in it, but if it was just a collection of like these things, that would also be kind of cool. Like, oh hey, here's again, look at this library here. Like, this is split up in a really cool way. It's split up by year and type of game. But even if it was just a collection of these games with all these extra features, this would still be neat. Like, hey, here's a bunch of important Atari games. They have context for them. You don't even have to have the context. Just put the games out. Yeah. I want to see what these are. Oh, that's walls come crashing down. Disorder of the one. In that game, special board is cleared. Your secret task is done. A dead end hides a secret room in Graves Academy. To find a treasure, pass the test. It's elementary. Okay, well that's clearly Haunted House. Prototype comes out to play upon the fields of war. To find it, reimagine tanks. What are you waiting for? I mean, it's like, it sucks that you barely even get those like collections anymore either. On a battleground in Sector 3 on Fields of Golden Void. If guests appear, don't hesitate, for both must be destroyed. Scary. A game designed by Riddle hides if only you explore. 5 pathways walked reveal a way to crash and score. That doesn't flow as well. Man, the fact that there are Lynx and Jaguar games in this collection is so cool. And the damn 800. I can finally figure out for sure what basketball is. I don't feel bad about it. This aggressive slapstick take on street hoops was the only basketball game released for the Lynx. Basketball blends traditional basketball with elements of fighting games. Not only can players punch their opponents, but the referee throws knives during play. What the fuck? Your stats can't be low, okay, and high. Just put low, medium, and high. Okay, Simon was the first one. A real nerd. He prefers homework to playing basketball. They don't call him Slash for nothing. This guy has an attitude. Biff, he's a real snob, but he does great when he shoots the hoops. Slam, this guy likes bashing heads. Look out when he's on the court. Vinny, this dude deals in cement sneakers. The other team better watch out. Buster, busting people up is what he likes best. You know what you could have done? You could have just said busting makes him feel good. And that would have been like, oh wow, hey, that's funny. Dude. He'd rather be surfing, but someone stole his board. Butch, he never runs from a fight when he's in a game. Payne is his middle name. Lee, he got kicked out of karate class for being too rough. Bubba, this is one big bad dude. He may be slow, but his punches sure hurt. I'm gonna be Slam. I'm gonna be the fake Michael Jordan. The schoolboys, don't let their looks fool you. These pupils major in pain. Nobody ever beats my team. I doubt it. You're the first team. He's hurting. I would like to let you know that they just scored 6 points and I don't understand what's happening. Yo, I'm dead and bleeding on the ground. That's kind of fucked up. This dude is just on the side of the... Wow. Bitch. This is what it was like to play for the Pistons back in the day. This is why they, you know, they had the bad boys, the NBA. How the fuck did he score 12 points? Bitch, give me my damn ball. For 3. I'm a spaz. Yo, he's coming at me with the knife again. Fuck you. It's like, if you're gonna be using knives, what difference does it make if you're dribbling? Just run. No. For 3. For 4. Can I throw this? Man, this game could never happen now. It's just a black dude and a white dude stabbing each other in a basketball court. Like, that's kind of fucked up. Oh shit. Oh no, it's a skinhead coming after me. Oh no. Alright. I think I'm about to kill him. Shit. How do you... You're absolutely right about this being a Detroit simulator, because these are just people on the sidelines that are just like, nah, I'm coming to kill you. I hate you. They don't even care. They're not on anybody's team. They're literally just coming off the sidelines and just stabbing people. Wow. Hang on. Dude, I'm so hurt right now. Let's see what this bikini volleyball game is. It's gonna be super hot. Handmade software. Haha, I bet. That's the most hideous looking company logo I've seen. It's a babe.
Cool.
This is certainly reaching. Oh, you know what? The animation's smooth at least. This is no Super Spike Volleyball for the Xbox. Whatever. Nintendo had Super Spike Volleyball. What was the one? Oh, Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball, obviously. That game is great. This game is not as great. Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball is actually a good game. I thought so. I kind of got it, you know, because I was like, oh, this is funny. And then I played it and I was like, oh, this is a decent volleyball game. I think it was either... Might have been like some sort of weird analog control system. I don't know. There's just not a lot of volleyball games, so it was definitely a decent one. Like, when your competition is this... Like, having a 3D Dead or Alive game, you know, it'll be alright. Even the AI can't play this game. Amazing. First to 15 wins. Even the AI doesn't understand the controls. This is amazing. Alright, dude. I will catch you later. Peace.
Way to go, dude.